Who is fooling who? Basically, what happened in Guinea-Bissau is quite disturbing to me who believes in democracy. In fact, I feel more pained than the day I called Buhari to congratulate him when I lost the election as a sitting president. Because I've been quite particular about Guinea-Bissau. As a sitting president, then Guinea-Bissau was in crisis. Started by about 2012. By 2011, we have to go physically. Worked with them and made sure that by 2014, we want 2013, elections were conducted. In fact, it was so bad the day that I learned that a military man went to the office of the prime minister and slapped the prime minister in the office. It was that bad. And what is happening is like we are going back to those dark days of Guinea-Bissau, where the military can do whatever they think they can do. It's totally not acceptable. The elections were done peacefully. We were in the field. I was a part of the West African Elders Forum. Normally, we are not co-observers, so we didn't deploy observation teams across, but we observed within Bissau, the capital, and the neighboring settlements. But during the meeting of all heads of observation missions, and they gave accounts of all the observers gave their account. Nobody gave something different. The elections were peaceful. Counting of results at the polling units peacefully done. The conduct of the electoral officials, the security, the party agents, the voters. It was a good election, and one expected the result to be announced. Then while they were collating the results, then they are finished collating results. Results for presidential election are collated at different levels.
That's right.
The 9 regions, results were ready. So they were collating them at the capital. And when they were almost through, and we're all waiting for the result to be announced, then Mbello announced that there's a coup, that they have taken over, they have arrested him. But from all indications, nobody arrested him. My conviction is that, and my charge to ECOWAS and AU is that they must announce that result. They have the results because AU and ECOWAS officials were at all the regions when the results were collated. You cannot change those results. They should tally all those results and announce. They cannot force the military out, but they must announce, let the world know who won that election. Let the world know who won that election. And they owe the world that responsibility. Similar thing happened in Cote d'Ivoire when I was the chair of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS. When in 2010 we had elections in Cote d'Ivoire, Gbagbo was the sitting president. At the first round, Gbagbo got 40-something% of the votes. Ouattara got 30-something% of the votes. And their law, you must get 50% of the votes plus 1 at least. Democracy is about majority. You must get a simple majority to be the president. So they have to go for a second round. And when they went for the second round, all those other candidates that lost now supported Ouattara. And Ouattara now got more votes than Gbagbo. And Gbagbo said he was not going, that he won the election. How can somebody who had something now come and defeat him? But that is a law. Then all the observers in the international community say Ouattara won the election. Then we ECOWAS say, well, you're our colleague, but you have to go. If the observers, everybody say Ouattara won the election, Ouattara must be sworn in as the president of Cote d'Ivoire. I stood my ground as the chair of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, and Ouattara was sworn in. So the leadership of ECOWAS, luckily, Madabio was a former military man himself, so he should be courageous. The leadership of AU, they must be courageous. They must announce who won that election. I'm not saying they should mobilize soldiers to go and fight. No need to shed blood, but we must know. Because the results are there. They have the results. The AU ECOWAS, they have the results. So cannot be playing pranks. Nobody should call others fools. There's no way they remove a military coup. Military coup at the time they want to announce the result. How? And the president was the person who announced the coup. It doesn't happen anywhere. Well, you people are too young, so you didn't know what used to happen in Nigeria. We're a country that witnessed series of coups before. So it doesn't happen. No, that's traditional. Because ECOWAS, though, if you follow the history of ECOWAS started when a number of West African countries had military leaders. But later on, when leaders now see that for your economy, ECOWAS is economic community, the emphasis was the economy. But for you to develop your economy, you must be politically stable. So protocols were changed, and we agree that in ECOWAS, we must not go back to military rule. We must not go back to military dictatorship. We must embrace democracy. And since the change of protocols, if any country, a military takeover, that country is suspended. It's natural. So we expect that, and they knew it was going to happen. So it's not strange.
So, Your Excellency, as we speak now, 4 countries within the West African bloc, 3 have already...
Don't worry yourself. Even if 5 countries remain in ECOWAS, so be it. It's costly to do the right thing. But ECOWAS must not bother. If Guinea-Bissau want to join the military camp, they should. They should. Even if 5 countries are committed to remain in ECOWAS and develop ECOWAS, the only thing is that they must modify the protocols or create some other protocols to make sure that ECOWAS do things that will endear them to the citizens, things that young people will benefit, things that business class will benefit, things that students will benefit. Let ECOWAS be attractive to citizens of the community, not just talking about political issues. When ECOWAS continue to do those things, these countries, they will come back to join ECOWAS. The military, it will not be forever. You carry gun today, took over government, with time, the society will be tired of you and will ask you to go. It will not take more than 10 years for all these countries to go back to civil rule, and they will join ECOWAS. So for now, even if only 5 countries out of the 15 are ready to carry on with the ECOWAS, they should. So we should not bother about that and begin to change their position. ECOWAS must stand firm. We cannot accept military. That is the most painful thing. President Mbello, just yesterday, was the chair of the authority of heads of state and government of ECOWAS. One will expect him, as the president of Guinea-Bissau, to do his best. Luckily, he's an ex-military man. So he has a military constituency. He was a very senior military man before retiring. So he has his own friends, boys, and so on. He should be the person that can prevent any coup in Guinea-Bissau. I don't expect a coup that will remove him from office. In any case, the election, immediately they announced, for them, immediately the results are announced. They inaugurate the new president the following day, so his tenure was almost over. But I don't expect him to be as the president of Guinea-Bissau, a retired senior military man, and they organize coup against him. I don't expect. I don't.